I'm Wayne Aker of DrupalTutor.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to configure the Honeypot module as an anti-spam technique on your Drupal 7 website. In a previous video I showed you how to configure CAPTCHAs on your user registration form. So over here, if I'm not logged in, I try to sign up. I have this reCAPTCHA here that the user has to fill out in order to complete the sign up form. And this works fairly well. However, if you've noticed, these CAPTCHAs have gotten increasingly difficult. Sometimes human beings actually do have trouble filling them out. And they're just sort of frustrating and annoying for users. So the Honeypot module is another approach, and I actually like it a lot better. I'm not using CAPTCHAs on a lot of my websites now. I'm strictly working with Honeypot. And what Honeypot does is it puts form fields into the form that only spam bots can see, or only bots can see, that human beings won't fill out. And if it sees that a registration has that form field filled out, then it knows that it has to be a bot, because a human being wouldn't see it. So let me show you how that works, and then I think it'll be a little more clear. So we'll start by just, I'll enable the Honeypot module. So we have to install Honeypot. It's just like any other module. And I'm actually going to turn off the CAPTCHAs at the same time here. You could use it with CAPTCHAs. However, I have found that Honeypot is effective enough that you don't need to have both. So if we go to configure the Honeypot settings, that's under configuration, under content authoring, Honeypot configuration. So we can decide which forms that we want to protect. You could choose to protect all forms that may cause issues on your site. So I usually like to be a little bit pickier about forms that non-logged in users can fill out. So people who haven't, because once you've logged into the site, I think you're probably okay. Honeypot's not going to protect me. So I usually focus on like the user registration form and maybe the comment forms if I'm using those. So in this video, I'll just focus on the user registration form. And we can actually leave everything else, I think, in its default state. So if I come back over here to my logged out browser and I refresh the page, you'll notice that I don't have a CAPTCHA anymore. The form looks a lot simpler and cleaner. And if I fill it out, it will work. Okay, if I fill it out as a human being, it's going to work. It's not going to stop me or challenge me in any way. And let me show you, though, what Honeypot has done. If we look here in the HTML and we look at this form, we can see the form elements for, here's the username, here is the email address, and right here is actually another form element for that's labeled URL, and it's hidden by CSS. If we look over here somewhere, we should see, maybe it's hidden at a higher level. Let's see. Yeah, here it's hidden at this div around it is hidden. If I unhide it, you can see there is actually a form element there, but by default it's hidden from users, from human users. Spam bots will still see this because they read the code. They don't render it like a browser does. And so they're going to fill it in. So if I actually fill this in, so if I'm a spam bot and I actually fill this in and try to create an account, yeah. See, I'll hit that sort of this error, that even though this looks like a generic error, this is Honeypot that's stopping me. But a normal user wouldn't do that. A normal user would just this out, in which case it works. All right, Honeypot has one other check that it does, in addition to seeing if anybody fills out that hidden form field, is it has a time limit. If you can fill out that registration form by default in less than 5 seconds, then it figures you're probably not a human being, which is a pretty good guess. Now this one's really hard for me to show you because I can't fill this out as a human being in 5 seconds. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the time limit to 50 seconds. Now that's not a good setting for you to actually use because a real human being can do it in 50 seconds. But this will allow me to demonstrate how this works. So now any time that someone fills out the user registration form in under 50 seconds, it should block it. So let me load this up and then, okay, so 2. All right, and you can see there I got dinged because I filled it out too quickly. All right, and so that is how the Honeypot module works. It can work on your user registration forms, which is typically where I use it, and I find it's very effective. You can also use it on comment forms. If you're allowing users to access node forms without logging in, then it's probably a good idea to do that, to use it on those as well. But I have completely replaced CAPTCHAs. I don't use CAPTCHAs. I only use Honeypot. It's very effective, and I recommend it to everyone.